Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Well, my name is Attore. I am a professor of physics, a meditation teacher, and these videos are to share and hopefully help with like emotional, mental stress challenges that um, people go through. I have gone through that, and it made important for me to share my experience, share what I learned, and so that hopefully some of you may benefit from what I have to say. Now, this will be episode one. If you have not seen my introductory video, I encourage you to watch that first. If you are on my social network, that might be the previous post. If you are in my YouTube channel, then those are one after the other. So, my plan is to tell my story and later on to build on that to see what I learned and what I can share. But my story with stress, anxiety, and emotion is very long indeed. Like, in a sense, I was an anxious child. I was an anxious teenager, and then I was an anxious young adult, and so on. So I'm pretty well experienced with that, but there was a period when I really felt contracted all the time. I woke up in the morning with this sense my sleep was not good, uh, my ability to focus in front of the screen, because I work in front of the screen a lot, was not great. And at the beginning, it felt like an annoyance, but um, like one day, one week after the other, the annoyance grew. So it really felt like something is going to happen here. I'm not sure I can handle it, or maybe I cannot handle it. And so then what? What happens to my job, to my life in general, family, and so on? And so what I clearly remember this constant sense of like contracted muscle, jaw, neck, sensation that there was something wrong, something amiss, somehow weirdness. Like, if any of you is willing to discuss more, I would love to talk to you more, even in private sessions. But, like, as if something in the body or in the mind wasn't working. I remember my eyes being affected, looking around and thinking, no, there's something wrong here. This is not the way I should feel. And so what did I do? Well, we are in 2020 something. My first inquiry was in internet. And I mean, I'm a scientist, so I have my experience to recognize what can be a good source of information and what might be less reliable. So I started figuring out, and if you Google stress or anxiety, you find like plenty of material with like how to deal, how to cope, how to like overcome. And I don't want to say that any of that is bad in any sense. Actually, as of now, much later, I can go back to some of those ideas and I see the point. But at the point, I tried quite a few things, all the way from some breathing, some visualization. But honestly, to be completely honest with you, I felt like nothing was working on me. And I started thinking, well, maybe it's me who I am different in a sense. Things don't work for me. And so uh, it kept growing. And then at some point, I thought, well, so I need to take some serious commitment here. And there was a nice meditation class that was offered online. And let me tell you that as of now, I am a meditation teacher, but at the time, my knowledge of meditation was very limited, and I enrolled. And It was very beautiful, very fascinating. But what I didn't know at the time was that that style of meditation was a pretty subtle and advanced one. And one of the points was to raise energy along the spine, which is something, it's certainly not something bad on its own. But uh, then I remember that one evening I was having dinner, I was waiting for the bill, and I felt this very strange sensation of like energy going up the spine with a very strong sense of electricity in my body. And I remember everything looked so scary. I was probably in the realm of an interesting panic moment. Somehow I don't know exactly how I managed to stick with it I although I felt a very strong need of running out of the restaurant going I don't know where. And well, let me tell you, I certainly wasn't happy of the experience. I was pretty terrified. But if it happens to you, please don't blame yourself. It's it happens. It's the emotional world is very subtle, is very complicated. And in particular, I was coupling with the meditation techniques that were certainly too advanced from where I was at the point. So that somehow unlocked some internal energy that were really, really intense. And I remember feeling when the episode itself like subsided, but feeling a bit lost. Like most of the safety in life seemed gone. Uh, and that's unsettling. If you are there, if you have been there, um I perfectly understand. But let me tell you, most of it is a felt sense. So don't, I know it would be really nonsensical to say don't worry because somehow worry is a major component of that, but um, it's in a sense it's okay. It took me a long time to digest that because for me, like I knew how life was supposed to go. I knew how life, um, in a sense, I thought I knew how I should feel. Oh, I should feel well. I should feel happy. And it's okay. The contraction, yeah, tedious, annoying, but anxiety, panic moments, that's a different. Like, no, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel like myself. And it's it's hard because then I remember having systematic hypervigilance. I remember like being again, but even more contracted. And later on, I got to understand this idea that all that contraction was a semi conscious, mostly unconscious attempt to keep those emotions under control. The anxiety was there, but somehow this contraction was trying to protect me because, and when the emotion sort of emerged more fully, I understood why. And and there was a period when I sort of regretted having gone beyond that contraction. Say, well, the contraction was annoying, but I could do everything. Now I find myself in this slippery terrain where the feelings are strange. I don't know how to make sense of them. So what did I do? Well, I thought that working on my own was not a good idea, so I decided to get help. And it took me quite a lot of to convince myself because there was inside me the sense, no, 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 I want to take care of it on my own. And I thought, no, let me have a conversation with my doctor. I got like a wonderful therapist. I missed my conversation with her. It was very pleasant. And that was a bit of a turning point because then, so my main message is that if you feel that is getting rough, don't hesitate to get help. It can be, it's not something that, oh, no, I need to take care of this on my own. No, you don't. Help is very useful, and it's nice to see that people can address your difficulty, can sit with you and help you. Um, it's important, in particular, because if you never, if you were never exposed to emotion at some level, it's when you find yourself there, it's like opening your eyes and finding yourself in a universe which is different from this. Like, so the help, the support is very, very important. As of now, let me tell you, I'm not in therapy anymore. Um, I am a meditation teacher, and my relationship with my own emotional world is way more like, how can I say, way less of a conflict. But at the beginning, I remember, and I am a very controlled person, so I wanted to control my emotion. I wanted to succeed in a sense, like, no, no, I want to get on top of this. Well, again, I don't want to make videos which are too long, and I'm happy to generate new videos in the future, and that will depend on how you guys react. If you write to me, I want more videos, then I'm very happy to do more videos. If you would like to reach out to me and talk to me, I have my own website and that I can point you toward. But before finishing this video about like essentially this abrupt emergence of these emotions, stress, anxiety, depression, they can emerge in a very strong way. And I hope you're not finding yourself there, but if you are, it's okay. It's not easy, it's not painless, but it's like a step in life. It's something that when you go through, at the same time, it is painful, but it's also, it teaches you a lot. So don't feel like, oh no, I fell inside this. No, you're passing through something, things are emerging in you. Things probably that want to be seen, want to be addressed. And it's okay. And one of the crucial things that for a personality and a mindset like mine was very challenging to accept because I have the challenge, the mindset of the problem solver. I'm like a professor of physics. Like we meet something, we want to explore, we want to assess, we want to solve, we want to proceed systematically. But if you fall into an emotional, not really fall, if you find yourself in an emotional, like tumultuous moment, there is nothing you can fix there. And that might seem like a bad news, like, oh, so does it mean that I feel terrible and I cannot even fix it? Well, it strongly depends on what you mean by fix. But if what you have in mind is something like, oh, I have a mild headache, let me take an Advil, and in 10 minutes I would feel better. That's not how emotions work. Uh, Emotion come up, want to be seen, like emerge in your like in your inner sky, in your inner universe, and you cannot really kick them out. And that may sound like a bad news. Oh, so if it comes, it comes. Uh, well, remember this: it's yourself, it's your nature that is gradually unfolding. So you don't. Not only you cannot, but in a sense, as you stay with them, you discover that you don't even want to kick them out because they are an important part of you. And after a long experience, I can tell you, they teach you a lot. They trigger transformations, they suggest transformation. And the only important point is not really what is the strategy to kick them out. No. The point is staying with them, learning from them, integrating them. And you may feel, no, I feel so bad. I just want, and I felt like that too. And that's why it's support is very helpful, help is very helpful at the beginning, talk to professional. That's very helpful. But at some point you discover, oh, those are my emotions. This is part of who I am, in a sense. So it's just something new unfolding. And in a sense, there is a bad news and a good news at the same time. The bad news may be, well, I cannot kick them out and they are painful. Yeah, that might feel like a bad news. The good news is the same, just viewed slightly different. I cannot kick them out, and so I should not even try. Because as you go through, you discover that the main pain, the main source of suffering, are not the emotion themselves, but your strong desire to get rid of them. That being said, I wish you a great rest of your day and I will talk to you soon. Bye.